Part 3. Oh, so this is why I'm anxious and my belly aches. 11 UPF is pre-chewed the food matrix. Food is more than the sum of its parts. Its structure, matrix, matters. The digestive system is designed to break down this matrix. Processing food alters its matrix, affecting digestion and satiety. The apple example. Whole apples, pureed apples, and apple juice have different effects on blood sugar and satiety. Whole apples digest slowly, providing sustained energy and fullness. Pureed apples and juice cause sugar spikes and crashes, leading to continued hunger. Softness of UPF. UPF is often soft and easily digested due to processing that destroys fibrous textures. Examples include Cocoa Pops, burgers, and many breads. This softness allows for rapid consumption, potentially overriding satiety signals. Impact on dental health. Soft UPF requires less chewing, potentially contributing to jaw development issues and the need for orthodontics. Modern diets have led to smaller jaws compared to ancestors. Chewing hard food stimulates jaw bone growth. Calorie density and eating speed. UPF is often dry, making it calorie dense. Softness and calorie density lead to faster eating and increased calorie consumption. Studies show eating quickly is linked to weight gain and metabolic disease. Hyperprocessing as a solution. Some researchers suggest altering UPF texture to slow consumption. This approach is questionable as softness is a key factor in UPF's appeal and profitability. Labeling UPF. Labeling UPF based on softness and energy density could be beneficial. The food industry may oppose such labeling efforts. 12 UPF smells funny. Artificial flavoring may be a key driver of obesity and overconsumption. The author avoids flavorings in food, suggesting they signal ultra-processed foods UPF. Our senses are interconnected and easily manipulated. A study showed that even wine experts were fooled into describing the flavor of white wine differently when it was dyed red. This highlights how color influences our perception of taste and smell. Smell is a powerful and precise system for food selection. We can distinguish over 1 trillion different smells, helping us identify safe and nutritious food. Smell acts as a barcode, linking to past experiences and influencing future food choices. Flavor is learned and easily hacked. We develop preferences for flavors associated with nutritional rewards. UPF manufacturers exploit this by pairing complex flavor profiles with high levels of fat and sugar, creating brand loyalty from a young age. UPF lacks the flavor complexity of whole foods. Industrial processing strips out thousands of chemicals that contribute to both flavor and nutritional value. Artificial flavorings are added back in, but they don't provide the same nutritional signals. We may be overeating UPF to compensate for missing micronutrients. Like cows craving zinc, we may be driven to consume more UPF in search of nutrients that are missing from our processed diets. This can lead to both obesity and micronutrient deficiencies. Flavors out of context can disrupt our body's ability to associate nutrients with food. Artificial flavorings may mislead our bodies, leading to imbalances and overconsumption. Key takeaways: avoid artificial flavorings. They are a hallmark of UPF and may contribute to overeating and health problems. Choose whole foods. They provide a complex array of flavors and nutrients that support health and satiety. Be mindful of sensory cues. UPF manufacturers use tricks to stimulate cravings and encourage overconsumption. 13 UPF tastes odd flavors versus flavor enhancers. Flavors are perceived through smell, molecules detected in the nose, while flavor enhancers are tastes detected in the mouth like salt, sugar, and MSG. Purpose of flavor enhancers. Flavor enhancers like glutamate, guanylate, and inositol signal the presence of easily digestible protein, making food taste better and preparing the gut for nutrient absorption. These are naturally found in foods like aged meat, fermented fish, and rich broths. Taste buds and receptors. Taste buds are located on papillae, bumps on the tongue, and contain specialized cells with receptors for different tastes. Contrary to popular belief, taste zones are not distinct. Taste receptors are also found in other parts of the body, like the gut and lungs. Basic tastes. There are 5 confirmed basic tastes: sweet, umami, savory, sour, salt, and bitter. Other potential tastes are still being researched. Taste interactions. The basic tastes influence each other. For example, MSG is unpleasant on its own, but enhances flavor when combined with salt or sugar. Flavor enhancement in UPF. Ultra-processed foods, UPF, exploit taste interactions to make food more appealing. They often combine sweet, sour, salty, and umami flavors in high concentrations. Coca-Cola example. Coca-Cola uses bitterness from caffeine, sourness from phosphoric acid, coldness, and fizziness to mask the extreme sweetness and deliver a large dose of sugar. Sugar's effect. High sugar intake leads to a rapid increase in blood glucose, which can create a strong reward response and increase cravings for sugary foods. Artificial sweeteners. The use of zero-calorie artificial sweeteners in UPF creates a mismatch between taste and calorie content, which can disrupt the body's natural regulatory mechanisms. This is a fascinating excerpt about the potential negative effects of artificial sweeteners and ultra-processed foods, UPF. Here's a breakdown of the key points. Artificial sweeteners. Doubt on zero-calorie benefit. The idea that artificial sweeteners are harmless because they have 0 calories is challenged. Evidence suggests they may actually contribute to weight gain and metabolic diseases like diabetes. Industry influence. Studies showing no harm from artificial sweeteners often have ties to food companies, raising concerns about conflicts of interest. Overconsumption. Artificial sweeteners may trick the body, leading to increased overall calorie consumption and a preference for sweet foods. Disrupting metabolism. Studies suggest artificial sweeteners, especially when mixed with sugar, can disrupt insulin response and the body's ability to regulate blood sugar, similar to what happens in type 2 diabetes. Gut microbiome disruption. Some artificial sweeteners might negatively affect the gut microbiome, which plays a crucial role in digestion and immunity. Ultra-processed foods, UPF mismatched signals. UPF often uses additives to create sensations of fat or sweetness that don't match the actual nutritional content, confusing the body's regulatory systems. Sad little ball of potato starch analogy. The Pringle example illustrates how UPF can stimulate cravings for nutrients that aren't actually present, leading to overconsumption. Accidental addiction. The addictive nature of UPF, with its engineered flavors and textures, may be an unintended consequence of the food industry's pursuit of appealing products. Policy implications, sugar taxes, and reformulation. While sugar taxes can reduce sugar consumption, they may also lead to increased use of artificial sweeteners, which have their own potential harms. Misleading health claims. The use of artificial sweeteners allows UPF to make health claims and receive endorsements, despite the lack of evidence for long-term benefits and concerns about potential harms. Targeting children. The high consumption of artificially sweetened drinks by young children is particularly worrying, as it may establish unhealthy eating habits early on. 14 Additive anxiety. Pret a Manger's natural claims are misleading. Despite marketing itself as natural and wholesome, Pret uses a variety of artificial additives in its products, including bread. These additives include emulsifiers like Datum E472E, which are used to improve texture and shelf life in processed foods. The author questions the safety of these additives, pointing out that they may have a more significant impact on health than previously thought. A study linked food colorings, also additives, to hyperactivity in children. This raises concerns about the potential effects of other additives. Emulsifiers are widespread in ultra-processed foods, UPF. They function by binding fat and water, and while some are naturally occurring, those in UPF are often chemically modified. Datum, a common emulsifier in bread, may be harmful to the gut. Studies suggest it can insert itself into cell membranes, potentially disrupting gut health. DuPont, a major producer of emulsifiers, has a history of environmental pollution and cover-ups. This raises concerns about the trustworthiness of companies that produce and use food additives. The author suggests that the current regulatory system for food additives relies too heavily on self-regulation by companies. This raises concerns about the adequacy of safety testing and regulation. The author concludes that there is evidence suggesting that emulsifiers in UPF can be harmful, primarily by disrupting the gut microbiome. Humans are like donuts. We are both double-walled cylinders with a complex inner tube, our gut, connected to other systems. This gut is lined with mucus, a dynamic and vital substance for our health. The microbiome is vast and influential. Trillions of microbes colonize us from birth, forming a unique fingerprint and acting as a crucial immune organ. This diverse community, bacteria, fungi, viruses, etc., impacts our digestion, immunity, and even our mental state. Fiber is fuel for our microbiome. We rely on gut bacteria to break down fiber, producing short-chain fatty acids that benefit our heart, brain, and overall health. Dysbiosis and disease. Damage to the gut lining or changes in the microbiome, dysbiosis, are linked to various diseases, including inflammatory bowel disease, autoimmune conditions, allergies, metabolic disorders, cancer, and mental illness. Harmful effects of emulsifiers. Studies on mice show that common emulsifiers like carboxymethylcellulose, E466, and polysorbate 80, E433, can damage the gut lining, alter the microbiome, and lead to inflammation, weight gain, and metabolic issues. Other problematic additives. Maltodextrins. These can cause cellular stress, gut damage, and inflammation, potentially contributing to chronic inflammatory disorders. Xanthan gum. This creates a new food chain in the gut, potentially affecting immune system development. Trehalose, linked to outbreaks of the superbug Clostridium difficile. Various emulsifiers, shown to alter beneficial bacterial levels in human studies. Unanswered question. Despite evidence of harm, many of these additives remain prevalent in processed foods, raising questions about food industry practices and regulation.